getting into it. So the group of you have completed your work for the Iron Fang Order of the Iron Fang Monastery. Pardon me, and made your way back across the plains north of the Pinwood, investigating Willem's shadowy stronghold. You found he was unwelcome, along with the rest of you. Barely making it out with your lives intact, and forestalling a very grim, eternal punishment of a future. You survived. You continue to push across the plains towards Elderthorn, eager to spend some of the coin now weighing down your pockets, and came across a burnt-out campsite, seemingly the site of some vicious attack by a marauding band of who knows what's. Gnolls, goblins, orcs that care less for the trappings of society. No one's quite sure. But there was a temporary survivor. Lone individual had been pierced multiple times by arrows and partially scorched, but was clinging to life. As you attempted to render magical aid, his wounds refused to close. They were envenomed in some way to prevent such magical restoration from taking place. Helplessly, you watched as the individual expired, not after begging for help and praying to whatever powers he believed in. Looking about, you found a small chest that was intact and seemingly warded magically against damage, including the flames that had consumed the tent around it. And you found a holy symbol upon the necks of each of the individuals, the 3 burned corpses and the one whose expiration you witnessed. The holy symbols had a familiar icon, 2 slightly overlaid circles in a vertical fashion. And the chest contained something very familiar. 2 chunks of green crystal, each weighing about a little bit more than a pound. You realized at this point that these individuals were likely not innocent travelers, but maybe members who had looted the mines that you had found not too far from here, or had escaped from the area prior to your incursion into it. These were, in lack of better terms, cultists. Probably evil. Maybe. Regardlessly, the group of you set off. Eventually made your way to Elderthorn safely. No other tarrying along the way. And set about making some good use of coin. You purchased a number of new artifacts and items for the group of you to utilize in your fights and travels. And Dunnan has requisitioned an upgrade to his chainmail that he wears currently to have metal splints applied to it, such that it might provide a little bit better protection at the cost of now no longer being concealable underneath garments. Seems like a reasonable exchange. Or partially concealable. The chain does hang long. The group of you have about a day and a half to 2 days still in Elderthorn to tarry while Dunnan's gear is being completed. Is there anything the group of you would like to accomplish during this time?
Siegfried would like to go visit his parents.
Okay. Anyone accompanying Siegfried?
I mean, I can go by myself if other people are staying in town.
All right. So take some time to visit the family. They are a brisk daily walk out of town, but able to be done enough that you could travel, rest, visit, rest, and then you wouldn't need to set off until mid-morning the following day to be back in time. So, easily enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing that, hella rest? Anything in particular that you're accomplishing? You're good to move on.
You're muted, Kim, if you're talking.
Oh, sorry. No, not going to do anything.
Okay. I saw you
No,
are checking
not going to
Ogron.
Siegfried's mom's. Not going to Siegfried's mom, so she doesn't have to try to feed me too if she's like,
Okay.
doing it. I just no inconvenience for her.
Okay. Noted. Dunnan, anything else in particular? Besides just waiting
Well,
for your armor.
If we could rewind a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
or I know we can also play it. Danan forgot to ask about the hammer that the Ember Braids somehow acquired, and he just wanted to know from what's his name, Andre, how did they get a hold of that hammer?
Oh, the hammerhead that you've
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can remember and go back about an hour and a half after you've requisitioned your armor. Very embarrassingly. But when you get to the Amber Braids, Andre looks up. You changed your mind already?
Really, Andre, we were at the establishment, and we talked to Kelpip, and I found this hammerhead, this weird-looking thing, and he mentioned you had acquired it, but couldn't get, I don't know, didn't know what to do with it.
It was,
But somehow I feel it's special. I just wanted to know what's the history behind it. How did you acquire it?
I don't know what the history was. It came in a shipment from Armskak, a bunch of scrap that was supposed to be melted down. Tools that break over time. Things like that. Better off as raw materials, but you don't leave them and let them lie. You might as well reuse the metal for something else. So it came in like 2 big barrels, random crap. And after we melting everything down, like everything seemed fine. We poured out the slag, and now the raw iron into ingot molds, and that was in the bottom of the crucible, like untouched,
Unfazed?
unfazed. So it couldn't melt down. So figured Kelpip might want it. Figured
They
some
sold it
type
me
of
for a
protection on it.
yeah.
So might as well give it to him. That was it though. No handle. It just came like that.
Could you make a handle for it? Would that be possible? I might have use for it. Something tells me it's special.
Handle's not
I haven't.
that hard to make. Give me a day or so. Leave it with me.
Sure.
Let me find
And
some
I'll
gold.
give him the hammerhead.
Okay.
I'll make it one-handed if you could. I prefer the shield in the other hand.
Alright.
Great.
No
Thanks as always, Andre.
He sort of just waves you off absentmindedly, like, yeah.
I'll pay you later when I pick up my armor. Just tell me how much it runs to.
Okay. Siegfried, so you head to your parents.
Yeah.
Upon your arrival, you're greeted by the smell of some type of bread. You're not quite sure what. But it smells lovely as you walk into your home. And you see your mother currently working. Your father is straightening up the place, and you don't see the little one running about anywhere at the moment.
Yeah, I go knock on the door. I mean, I'm already in. I'm like, it's nice to see you both. What's Orla up to?
Oh, welcome home, dear. This is a nice surprise. I have some spring zucchini bread. It'll be ready in a little while. I think we have enough to for you also. I don't know. She was collecting bugs earlier, so she's been wandering around outside.
Serious business, I see.
Probably.
Well, how have you both been? It's nice to see you. We went on quite a bit of a trek towards Armskirk, and we're back for a few days.
Yuri sort of looks over at you. Up to Armskirk? That's a bit of a hike. How was it?
Good. I mean, we met an orc tribe out in the plains. They were having some trouble. We were able to help them, and yeah, we found out some information that would help Elderthorn. Regarding that, I'm sorry, I can't speak much about that, but
Fine. Secretive business.
I mean,
Big important boy.
Captain Stormsurge would skin me if I told you some of the stuff. I'm sorry.
He'd be able to skin you and cover 3 canoes. Look at you.
I know, exactly. That's what he'd do. And I think I somehow grew taller. I can't even tell. But yeah, I think we were really able to help Elderthorn this time, at least in a little bit. That Kelpip is.
Does that have to do
pretty
with that water thing that you sort of mentioned to us?
Yes. You've been avoiding the wells, haven't you?
As best as we can. I mean, it's not like we have a spring on our property.
I'm working on that. I might be able to help you with that someday. But yes, Kelpip thinks he may have found a way to help the town with what we were able to bring him.
Yeah.
But
been an odd duck. Never see him out and about.
Yeah, I mean, well, I understand why his shop has unbelievable security.
I couldn't tell you. I've been there all of, I think, 3 times in my career. Always company business, but
yeah, he's been helping us quite a bit. So, but I wanted to ask you something, Mom. We had an interesting run-in with the Kami. I just wanted to talk to you about it in case you had any insight.
yes.
What
was your run-in? They're always watching.
I don't remember the exact details because I was gone for half of it, but I will mention to her that clearing we found with the woodcutters that had been captured by the weird mutated forest monster, and it seemed like the Kami were being pushed closer. They seemed like they're being pushed closer to the farmers.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I think something's going on. I mean, obviously something's going on deep in the forest.
So, I've never heard of anything like that. Like, history has taught us that if you are mean to the natural world, like, the natural world's gonna sort of be mean back. They'll get you however they can.
I guess, I turned to Yuri. Do you know if any log cutters were attacked by Kami like this? I mean,
no, never heard of anything like it.
As far as I do, these
problem we ever is a bear every now and then, and that's dealt with pretty handily when it does happen. Can't let them get a taste for flesh.
And Spencer, as far as Siegfried recalls, those workers were just clearing area for land, right? They were
clearing what was previously farmland before it was encroached upon. Yeah. So it's not
So
like
yeah,
they were even claiming additional land.
yeah, I mentioned that to my mom. I mean,
Oh my.
they weren't even in the forest. They were reclaiming some farmland that got overgrown. It's the first time I've heard Kami
That's nasty.
doing anything on farmed land.
Had they done anything to the different kami beforehand to warrant such repercussions?
I'm not sure. I
I mean, we speak of the kami like it's a single thing, but there's thousands of them, probably more. From
yeah,
like each tree probably has its own little guardian. Every tuft of grass, rocks, whatnot. So,
I
but
I
they
tried.
tend to be pretty close in their approximations of justice, if you would call it.
Yeah, I mean, we tracked down the workers and we found this clearing in the woods. It was obviously suffused with primal magic and someplace sacred to the kami. I laid down my weapons and I tried to negotiate with whatever spirit was there, but it attacked us immediately. And it was like no kami I've ever seen.
Something clearly got to them. Based on what you said. I don't know, anything that can anger them that much, there must be a reason. I mean, I've never heard of them just doing something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, usually you have to go
tend
poke
towards
it around.
being pretty neutral. Yeah, exactly. When you stick your nose somewhere that it's not supposed to be, that's when it gets snapped. But
Maybe, I don't know, if someone has a problem with the kami, you could give him some advice. I don't really know. The farmers and the hands, they, as far as I could tell, they were just regular people. I mean, they didn't know much about the kami, but they knew that you don't mess with the forest at the very least. But I don't know. It's just it's been at the back of my mind with all the other things going on.
I'm sorry, I can't help you more, sweetie. It's
No.
never been something that makes a lot of sense to me beyond just the idea you respect them, they respect you. Every now and then something goes missing and something else might turn up. It's just how it is.
Do you know someone I could talk to that has more information on the kami?
That is the information that we have on them.
Okay.
It's not like botany where you can have lots of pictures that people have drawn of different plants and whatnot. People don't draw the breeze, right? They draw the effects of the breeze.
That makes sense. Well, I'll
can't-
keep an eye out, and I will let you know if I find anything out as well.
We deal with them just the same we deal with rain or sunshine or drought or snow. It's part of the world, sweetie. Be careful. If someone is angry like that, I don't want to get told that you got taken by this plant thingy. Okay.
So you mean like immediately starts thinking about the shadow cave they were just in. Just like, not sure. Yeah, funnily enough, I think you met Aeolus last time, right?
Yes.
He seems
Nice
to have
young man.
a profound connection to the kami.
That's cool. That's
They seem
good.
to like them.
Yeah.
But do you
That's
think there
nice,
could
sweetie.
be? Do you think there could be kami of shadow?
I don't see why not. I mean, I guess that's also part of the natural world, like night and day.
We found an interesting place that was suffused by shadow. It was very dangerous, but it's something we need to investigate.
She sort of gives you a stern look. Alright, you need to stop going to all of these very dangerous places.
I mean, if I didn't, my crew would die pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, be more judicious then.
I'll try. And then he goes to his pack, and then
Oh, she goes and excuse me. Sorry, sweet. I need to get the bread out.
oh, thank you. It smells delicious. I'll turn to Yuri then, and I'll show the holy symbol that we found. One of the not the platinum one, like one of the metal ones we just found.
I think Aeolus has the platinum one, or he turned it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
To.
I just have one of the regular ones. Yeah. I just show that to my father. If you meet anyone bearing this symbol, be extremely wary of them.
Okay.
There's
Don't get
evidence
too many
that
through.
there's evidence that they may have been working in the lumber camp. I'm not sure, but you know how people pass in and out. But people wearing this symbol have been found, and it's found connected to some terrible things.
Okay.
If you see anyone wearing them, just be careful.
What is it? A good luck charm?
Some kind of holy symbol? I don't really understand.
Divinity?
Yeah.
Not too many cling to those beliefs anymore.
Yeah. But whoever believes in this symbol is connected to what's going on with the water.
Okay.
So just be careful.
Sounds good. Sweetie.
Yeah, I would.
Sort of holds it up. Look at this. Remember it. He hands it back to you afterwards.
Yeah. And I just asked him, do you guys need any help with chores or
No,
anything
we're
you'd
good. And he sits down in a chair made out of looks to be like driftwood and storm falls. It's sort of been tacked together and left somewhat raw. And stretches out slightly. We're good. Don't worry about it, son.
Well, if it's
Enjoy
all right, I
some
think.
food.
Yeah, if it's all right, I'm gonna spend the night and head back in the morning. But thank you for letting me stay.
No, always. This is your home.
Yeah, and I would probably just sit somewhere quiet and practice my music until dinner was ready. And that's about it.
Your conversation turns lighthearted after that. Orla comes back in. You spend some time playing with her. She shows you a particularly large beetle that she found and speared,
Nice.
which is mostly squished, like not worth preserving in any way whatsoever.
I give Orla 10 silver pieces.
Her eyes go wide, like he gave me money, and she gets all excited and runs around for a while.
Yeah, I also say, ask Yuri kind of sly, you don't know where Gorizura might be. Last time I heard she was working in the logging camp.
No.
She sent me a letter. I think she wants to meet me, but it's all right. Never mind. I'm just gonna go back to playing with Orla.
Okay. Your time passes. You enjoy the heartening vacation, so to speak. Make your way back to Elderthorn the following morning. Dunnan, you are able to head back to the Amber Braids the next
Could have
afternoon.
done something in the evening
Yeah, sure.
at Booker's.
Yeah.
Well, Dunnan would have stayed up front at the, bar, like at the counter, and then had like 2 ales, and then... Is it buzzing in the evening? Are there many people?
So it is... it would be 4 days before beginning of summer. It relatively is. Most of the spring work has been accomplished by people at this point, so they're now doing things to spend their time. So it's starts to get a little bit hopping even before sundown.
Okay. Well, Bannon would have had dinner and 2 to 3 ales, and would have then turned around and face the 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 way they get in, like the room.
Mhm.
We've shot it. Anybody up for a drinking game?
Make me a persuasion check and an intimidation check.
Intimidation. Nice. Hmm. So, what do you want first?
Either
Persuasion
or, yeah.
and then intimidation.
Oddly enough, so you needed to roll higher on persuasion than intimidation for this. So that way
Perfect.
people weren't afraid of trying to do it. You got two takers. One person sort of comes back. You buying?
Well, loser buys, right? And I'll put on, I don't know, what's do people usually have, like 5 silver? Or is it like a lot of money?
Maybe 10 silver to start.
Okay. I'll say I'll bet 10 silver I drink both of you to the ground. And winner is taker. I even buy the drinks for you if you want to.
One individual pulls out 7 silver and 30 copper. The other one pulls out 9 silver, 10 copper.
I'll put down the 10 silver. I don't care.
And then pile it up on the table.
Just for funsies.
The individual currently performing in the Faded Gate strikes up as they see this going on. People have started to crowd around now. Strikes up a jaunty tune as they go. And the two individuals, roll me 2 percentile checks, please.
Mm-hmm. Individually or just together?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Wow. 2 and 76. Okay.
Mhm.
So the first one is a younger farmhand. He's probably maybe 20-ish. He looks like he might be in the midst of his Blackburn training as well. I'm not quite sure. Based on what he's wearing at the moment, he's wearing farm garb. The other one is an older fellow. Looks to be maybe his grandfather or grandmother was a half elf. There's just a very faint point about his ears, like not one of his parents for sure. Far back, most likely. And they sit down, and the first round is brought. 3 big wooden steins.
Before we start, Danan would take out the chalice of sobriety and would turn to them. I'm sorry, when at drinking games, I rather have my own cup. I'm a little bit peculiar about that. Is it alright with you?
Make a persuasion. Make a deception check, actually. Because you're intentionally obfuscating the reason, like, you want this for an advantage. If you lose, we get that too. The winner gets that. You throw it in the pot.
That seems a little bit unreasonable. But
Everybody
only if
wants
I
a
lose.
special thing because you're so fancy.
Alright. I don't want to be known as a dwarf who doesn't keep his word, so alright. But only if I lose. And I'll drink out of that chalice, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
Let's start then. And he
So
rubs his hands together.
Luca comes over and pours the wooden stein that's been brought to you into the chalice of sobriety, and it's just shy of the top of the chalice holds the full stein. Oh, all right, it'll be the same volume. You're all good. He's not getting any advantage if I fill it up. Actually, you might. I think it holds more than the Steins. She
Perfect.
sets everything down in front of everybody. The bard that's currently playing sort of plucks up this sort of anticipatory tune as you go, and the contest begins. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, the older gentleman is sort of swaying after about the 6th drink during this time, and his eyes are unfocused and glassy. The younger individual is holding his own, to be fair.
You had some training, huh?
And he just sort of smiles at you as he reaches for the next sort of tankard, and then sort of half gets up out of his seat to sort of like look you in the eyes, and then takes his free hand, the one that's not grabbing the tankard, and goes to sort of slam it down on the table like in an intimidating fashion, misses the table entirely, and tumbles sideways, dumping the tankard on himself as he goes down inadvertently.
Well, guess that means I win.
No, yeah. The older one chimes in.
Yes.
Still here, and
Have a good sleep, and I pat him on the back. Don't you worry. It will be over tomorrow. Just sing along and be jolly all night.
To his drink. He lasts another 3 drinks or so, but there's an unfair advantage going on here, as he has no chance. You can add 20 silver to your inventory.
I won't do that, so I'll take the money, go over to Bukas, and lay it on the table. Split it up between them tomorrow. I had my fun for tonight. That's more than the money that I could ever get. It was great.
Yeah, I'll split it up after I take their drinks out of it.
Sure.
She sort of gives you a look. Careful about doing that. Careful about having these contests in my tavern.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Careful about having these contests in my tavern.
It's just a one-time thing. Don't worry. It's not becoming a regular thing or anything. I just felt bored. And I can hold my own. It's not my fault if they challenge a dwarf, right? I mean...
She sort of winks at you. Sure you can. Give me an insight check.
Insight.
Nope.
Nope.
Your night is fun and comfortable as you retire eventually. And the group of you reconvene the next afternoon, I believe. For Dunnan, you to pick up your hammer. When you go to pick up said hammer, Andre's looking at you. I think we got ripped off.
What do you mean?
So, yesterday, you dropped it off. I put it off, truth be told. I don't want to make a fucking handle. But, whatever. So I took a handle out of one of the other warhammers we got. That's what you did ask for, the length and whatnot. I tried other lengths too. I tried everything I could, mind you. I went to fit it. I dropped in the pegs to secure the wood through the eye of the hammerhead. Looked good. The next time I turned away to put my tools back and pick it up to give it a test. And the very first time that I swing it and hit anything, the wood shatters. Like, this is fresh. You would have bought these handles on warhammers that we have currently. Like, it's good. It's ash. It wouldn't have broken like that. I try it again. Something different. This one was oak. Same thing. I tried reinforced with sort of bands of iron up near the head, where it was sort of breaking, wondering maybe it's just the weight of the thing. Still breaks inside the iron band.
Telling me it's unusable?
I don't know.
Or might it be just one part and the second part is the handle?
I mean, a handle's a handle's a handle. But
every handle you try to attach broke.
yeah, all the ones I tried a larger one. I mean, it's a little bit small for the head of a mole, but I wanted to give it a shot anyway. So I shaved down a mole handle and dropped that in. Dropped in circle eye hooks, to sort of flare out the wood, and same thing. First hit. Wishapper's head goes tumbling.
Have you asked Emil about that?
Well, she's working on your armor. I didn't want to just stab her and throw her away for hours on end and delay you from getting your stuff. But
that's weird. I know it's special, but just the hammerhead, right?
That's what it looks like. I mean, it didn't melt, so it's definitely more than just that. But I don't know. He sort of plops it back in your hand. You owe us 5 silver for the shattered handles.
Great. And I just get the hammerhead with no handle. Alright. Sounds like a ripoff, but here you go.
Thank you.
And how long for the splint mail? Tomorrow?
She should have it maybe before around sundown.
Great. Maybe we can ask her later then about that hammerhead. I'll try ask Kelpip again if he can, I don't know, identify it. I don't know what he tried.
Siegfried Heller asked, either you fellows need, either you need anything?
No, I got my armor. That's about it. I'm not a big armor swords guy like Dunnan over here. Maybe do you have any better shields?
I have a few. It's all banded wood, but steel bands across it. I can give you different shapes. If you spend a lot of time riding, I can give you a kite. It's more comfortable to have on your back while riding, so you're not stabbing the horse's back. But
sure, we have been doing a lot of riding recently, and I wouldn't want to hurt my horse, especially Biggin. A new shield would be nice.
That's what you named your horse?
That's what Dunnan named my horse.
No, it already was named Big Not by me, but I do have to say, it could come from it. It's quite a nice name.
I mean,
it is a big horse, so it fits the horse.
Well, yeah, let me see what you got. You have a shield currently, Siegfried?
Yeah, I do have a shield currently.
Okay. So you can trade that in for a kite shield. Easily enough. Mark off 10 silver because the one you're trading in is dented and damaged over time.
Yeah, definitely.
But
it's taken a few
hits. You have a kite shield. It's about 2.5 feet in tall and about 1.5 foot wide at the girthy point. But nice and comfortable.
Thank you. Masterful craftsmanship as usual.
I didn't make it. You don't need to flatter me. So the group of you complete your business here. Eventually pick up the splint for done, and you can go ahead and add that to your sheet.
Great.
All right, or I can add it for you if you want.
Yeah, I forgot where I can.
So you click the little head, or the little lock, delete chainmail. There we go. And then in the little I button above chat, type in splint, find splint armor,
No. Okay.
and then you can drag and drop that to your sheet, and it'll get added automatically.
Okay.
I've already done it for you. But now your AC is 19.
Awesome.
Between the shield and splint.
Great.
And I believe that means Hellarest and you are both wearing splint now, correct? Exciting. Alrighty.
Yeah, you betcha.
Hmm?
I said yes. I agreed.
Gotcha. Eventually, the next morning comes to you, and the group of you are able to set off. To where are you going?
I think we were first heading to Madame Toadtooth, and
Okay.
then going to head to Crypt after that.
Okay.
Mm.
Roll me a d20 to see if anything happens along your travel to Madame Toadtooth's. Okay. Hellarest, how many hours of language do you have at the moment?
42.
42. Okay. Been in town. It's now at 4:46. It's now the 19th of Kythorn. You may now add that as a language proficiency during your travel to Madame Toad's.
Awesome.
I'll add Aeolus's. Aeolus was learning Orcish, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Alrighty, and you were learning Infernal.
Yes.
You've compiled the requisite hours. Okay. There's a comfortable travel up to Madame Toadtooth's. You know the way at this point, and upon arrival, her hovel that's set against the underside of this sheer cliff that goes up about 100 feet, before continuing on into the mountain range behind her, about 2 days' time later, is currently looks abandoned. No lights on. It's daytime. No lanterns going. There's also no smoke coming up through the small chimney that sort of juts out and follows the side of the cliff. It looks like she might be out at the moment.
Yeah. If she's out, I might just leave a note under a door or something like that, saying that we were here. We hope to speak to her when we come back from Crypt.
Okay. You leave said note to Madame Toadtooth, and you head to the henge clearing?
Yes, I assume so.
Yes.
Alright, 1 second. I'm adding into my notes that you're leaving a note for Toadtooth. Okay. One by one, you approach and then walk through the veil that occupies the center of this henge.
I'll also just mention it, and then you may want to ask the mayor about that hammer. If anyone knows something, he will.
All of you mark
The mayor. The Ökrip.
Yeah. Mark your level of exhaustion for using a henge. As you step into the deserted, at one point, market square of Crypt, a sense of emptiness hangs in the air. The cab appears hauntingly quiet and devoid of life. One moment, please.
Even more than usual?
I've only been here once before, so I don't know what's usual. But can I do like a quick perception check to see if anything is obviously amiss around the gate?
Okay. Pardon me. Rows of the hub appears hauntingly quiet and devoid of life. Where once were empty, there are now rows of vacant stalls stand silently, waiting for merchants to set up shop and display their wares. behind you in the center of the square stand the 6 majestic henges, silent sentinels over the area. Their ancient stones hold the air of untapped potential, and yet they remain untouched and undisturbed. Directly behind you is the henge from whence the group of you have stepped. The familiar shimmering curtain of magical energy extends from the stones, swirling and undulating like a vibrant tapestry woven by unseen hands. Across the empty courtyard, you see the undulating and shimmering effect of another henge's gateway, having become reinvigorated at some point since your last foray here. The absence of people amplifies the stillness, broken only by a gentle desert breeze that rustles through the surrounding area. The market feels suspended in time, frozen in anticipation of vibrant life that's yet to come. Among the quietude, one building stands out that was not in this state of repair previously, with a large sign, beautifully painted script reading "The Moon Sands Caravansary." Its open doorways draped in what appears to be luxurious curtains of fabrics which are currently pinned open, revealing a well-furnished interior that awaits the chatter of patrons and the clinking of glasses. So you gaze within, you see the atmosphere is empty, but brimming with potential, as if the walls themselves hold the echoes of laughter and lively conversation yet to be heard. As you stand in the market square, you can almost envision the vibrant tapestry of life that Yerl hopes will soon grace these stones. Urcrypt, though devoid of people for now, is a testament to dreams and aspirations of its mayor, and the promise of a future desert oasis.
Siegfried would like, Siegfried would like to go over and examine the newly opened gate.
That wasn't powered on last time, right?
But I mainly want to see if the stone was put in on this side or the side it came from.
Yeah. So you recognize, Siegfried, that each henge, for it to be considered a gate away from where it currently is, it must have a stone powered on its own side as well. So you do see a bone maul stone has been placed in the apex of this one as well.
Okay.
Like you won't see a veil without a bone maul stone.
Okay, so there needs to be a stone on both sides?
Yeah, to form the tunnel, so to speak, that's open at both ends, you need a stone on both ends.
I just stated the
that was your issue when you first arrived in Urcrypt, was you got here because you activated it from one end, meaning you can go one direction.
Yep, and then we got stuck. Yep.
Yeah, but Yerl had the second stone, correct?
Yeah,
correct.
He gave you guys the second stone, or you selected it from his treasure.
Yeah, we didn't ask if that was the only stone he had, but they needed. Whoever did this needed 2 stones, which is, I mean, it took us quite a bit to get 2 stones ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps maybe we should investigate this before we open up another gate. But
as
right, we have
you're all
stone that
sort of out in the courtyard conversing, adding a lot of sound to this area. You see floating out through the curtains of the Moon Sands Caravansary, Yerl. He's dropped his usual garb and is wearing what looks to be a leather apron, and is currently in the process of cleaning some mugs. Hi.
How does the holder wear something?
Welcome. You're back. So good to see you all. It's been almost over a month at this point. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Have you seen? We had a visitor. They're not here anymore. Speaking, the visitor wanted permission to utilize your henge too. Come in.
It's good to see you.
Hold on,
Mhm.
hold on. Who was that visitor?
They came through one of the ones
Yeah,
there.
we can see.
They had another crystal activated and everything. It was quite entertaining. They helped me furnish this place. As you look around, following him into the Moon Sands Caravansary, you're enveloped by an atmosphere that blends warmth, comfort, and the hint of adventure just sprinkled over the top. The interior is adorned with rich, earthy tones, creating a cozy and inviting ambience. The air carries a faint scent of sandalwood and spices, adding to the sense of exotic allure. The main hall we've entered is spacious. It's got a high ceiling supported by sturdy wooden beams that create the sense of openness. Soft lighting emanates from intricately designed lanterns, casting a warm glow that dance about the walls. There is present, you're not sure from the source, the sound of soft music. A melodic tune played on a played on a lute fills the air, creating a soothing background melody. To your left, a well-crafted wooden bar stretches along one side of the hall. The bar's polished surface gleams under warm lighting.
No, we lost Spencer.
I can hear you.
Yeah. I can hear him.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Siegfried refresh. There you go.
Okay.
Alright. The bar's polished surface gleams under the warm lighting, inviting patrons to take a seat and partake in their favorite drinks. Behind the bar, you see an array of bottles, jars, and barrels lining the shelves. In one corner, a small stage is set where musicians and storytellers might perform. The walls are adorned with tapestries depicting scenes of grand adventures, far-off lands, and legendary heroes, inspiring the imagination and sparking the desire for new tales to be woven. The tantalizing aroma of freshly prepared dishes wafts from the open kitchen area at the back of the hall. The crackling sounds of a well-stoked fire and the clinking of cooking utensils create an inviting symphony of culinary delights. As you explore the interior of the Moon Sands Caravansary, you can't help but feel a sense of camaraderie and anticipation. This is a place where tales are meant to be shared and friendships forged. The spirit of adventure lingers heavy in the air. Following the group of you is Yarrow, as you've entered the place. I put this little place together for any travelers that come through. I hope you like it. I followed your instructions. Lots of pillows. You said lots of pillows, so I added pillows.
It's great. It's marvelous. Really. I'm speechless. You did a fantastic job. It's very inviting and very comfortable.
Thank you so
Great.
much. Thank you. Please, make yourselves comfortable. I will check on meals.
Oh, great. Meals.
It is...
Kelly's a little nervous. She's not as taken in by pillows and stuff. She's a little nervous about the person who wanted to come through our portal and the absence of Toadtooth. So she wants to ask Yerl how long ago this person went through.
Oh, when you ask, that would be about close to 3-10 days ago. Maybe 7 or 8 days after you had left me with the instructions to start making the place nicer, and I wanted to be nice to anyone coming through, so I dealt with all of the wandering corpses that were about town. They're dusty now. They're part of the sands. So dealt with them the first day or so, and then after that I spent some time shifting some stones and cleaning up the space, and then they came through, and they were very kind. They smelled like salty. It was very peculiar. Dressed. I mean, they were dressed well enough for the desert, but they were kind of exposed to the sun. They did have a stone in a pack to be able to get back to wherever they came from. They said they're from the Isles. I believe the Stormstring Isles. And they saw that the other henge was activated. And I wanted to. You weren't here, so I made a judgment call in the moment. As you made me mayor of this space. And I made the request that they not utilize your henge without permission from the people who had activated it. So they put in a request that the next time I speak with you, I ask for your permission for them to utilize it on for me to ask on their behalf. I can likewise ask them if you can utilize theirs to keep things pleasant, for people moving through this space.
Is it possible for you to arrange a meeting between us and this individual?
I don't know when they're coming back. I did some trade with them. They have a lot of supplies. It was very easy to purchase some of these things and trade for other things. But they brought me some of the pillows that you had requested, even, Mr. Dunn.
I just turned to Dunnan and Helly. I'm not sure if we have the power to make a unilateral decision like this, but maybe.
Well, I informed the individual that the permission must be issued by the people who activated the henge.
Yes.
That was the most likely thing that seemed fair, rather than ascribing that authority to another party, meaning that they would be the ones that would need to grant you permission to use theirs. They seem to like that idea because then no one's going through theirs without their permission, no one's going through yours without your permission, but you can sort of trade permissions if you want.
I agree, but I would like to maybe talk to the watch before we gave our permission. I don't know. What do you think, Helly, Dunnan?
I think it's risky. We don't know them. I mean,
They don't know you either. True.
Yeah, that's true.
I
but
don't know when they're going to be coming back through. You could hang out, but it could be a day, it could be a month. I know not.
Did they ever come back since last time?
Oh, several times, yes. I haven't seen them in 5 days or so. They were here. They were dropping off actually the last of my shipment, which was the enchanted knives. One moment, please. Let me check on your foods. As he sort of floats back towards the kitchen.
Maybe we should just hang out here till they come back.
Helly is definitely willing to just hang out if you guys want to do something else.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't spent much time in our crypt anyway, so it might help.
Aside from figuring out the water, we don't have any other deadlines, correct?
Not at the moment, and Kelpip, we bought some time with the water at least with Kelpip. Because we gave him the 2 stones.
And do we know where these islands are?
I'll make a history check.
Yeah, Siegfried definitely does not know. Didn't mean to roll that advantage.
Helleras, I'm gonna drag you to a map.
Don't think.
Okay.
Nope.
So
okay.
You know where the Stormstring Isles are. They're a good number of leagues off the main coast of Aquan.
But we have done trade with them, and they're a known. It's not like they went someplace we've never heard of before.
There's no known settlements in the Stormstring Isles.
Oh, no known settlements. Okay. Okie doke.
So yeah, why don't we just... We should rest at least a day to get rid of the exhaustion, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll hang out around her crypt and see if that other person comes back.
Let's take our mid-session break here.
Okay.
Call it about 5 to 8 minutes or so, and
Sure.
we'll pick up with you guys chilling in Urcrypt and talking to Yarrow a little bit more after that.
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty. I hear Halras mic going, so I think
Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. All right. There we go. My audio's working now. All right, getting back into everything. The group of you are greeted by a beautiful spread. There is a wide pan that is brought out, just sort of floating and placed on the table. It takes up about 60% of the table, right in the center, where the group of you are found a spot to sit on the comfortable cushions around it. The center of this wide, flat pan is filled with this beautiful orangey rice that just smells delightful, and there's a bevy of different types of meats and ingredients throughout it. This is a massive paella, and it smells delightful as Ural sort of beams. Please enjoy it. It is a labor of, well, not love. It should taste magical. Enjoy either way. And he just sort of settles a little bit in his float, almost like he's sitting down waiting to see if you like it.
Yeah, the Siegfried digs it.
Anon digs in.
The bottom of the rice is just crispy enough, but the top has some nice toothsomeness. The meats within are succulent, and just the right degree of juicy. Everything's seasoned to perfection, and there's a small hint of spice that leaves your tongue burning just slightly. Enough to warrant being thirsty. And Ural will provide glasses of what looks to be a chilled wine, in this deep ruby color, for all of you to enjoy.
You're quite the
Helly-
host.
Helly-
Great.
Helly pounds like 4 plates or bowls full without even talking, just grunting a little bit and like winking and nodding at Ural, but just like won't stop eating. She's just.
I'm so glad. The acquisition of the knives was one of the big things that I wanted to make sure the caravanserai would run, even if I wasn't able to hire cooks and whatnot. So
the person that came through, is they are a cook or a merchant or tradesman?
I think they're a tradesman. They come across all sorts of objects and things, from what I've sort of been able to glean. But they were happy to do business with me.
They're always alone?
Sometimes, well, every now and then they would have some people come through with some crates, with things that I had requested. But those people didn't stay. They sort of went back through right away to the Stormstring Isles. All of them dressed very plainly. They seemed to be sort of muscly guys and gals. They didn't really do that much. Not very talkative, wasn't. But it was nice to chat with him.
Any special garments so that we can recognize any special colors or insignia or anything, so we could
never saw
probably
any insignia. I saw a few different ones on the crates. I used some of the woods from the crates in various bits. He sort of looks around. Not here. One of the other buildings. You can see it later when you finished. But some of the stuff I believe they acquired. They purchased from the Opulent Depth Mining Company at some point. Some of the wood and the timbers were in good repair. They're holding up my ceiling now. But I think they do business with lots of different people.
I mean, I think it could be great for Elason to do some more business with a little far off towns, but I'm a little hesitant to
That's a great
to give
point.
them permission.
Like, if they could trade through here, this could be sort of a trading hub, or at least discussing of trade.
Yeah, we discussed we should meet them first, so I think we're gonna stay here and I don't know 2 days or so, and see if they show up and talk with them. Because
You're
I
more than
don't think
welcome
we
to
just.
stay for a few days. I'm happy to. I have plenty of food. Now, if you
Is
don't,
there anything we could help you during that time? I mean, any labor
no.
or anything?
I'm set up.
Anything that needs to be purged out? I don't know.
I-
Any remnants?
Nah, no. I dealt with most of it all myself. And it wasn't too bad, truthfully. It was, I mean, the things up top were sort of just a flavor for my fun dungeon, fungin. I came up with that.
Mm.
But no. So you remember the knives that would attack you when you tried to cut the cake in the beginning of
Oh
the
yes,
run?
and
Yeah. So
at
I
the
got some more
table
of them, and now
and the rock.
they made your paella.
Oh, amazing.
Okay.
I also
Um,
got the same things on forks and cooking utensils and whatnot. It works beautifully, and I don't have to pay them.
Excuse me, Jarl. Has anyone from Elderthorn besides us been here?
Oh yes. I met your Captain Storm Surge. She's a lovely fellow.
He is?
He's heartbroken though. He's poor guy. And then Madame.
But wait,
Toad,
could you elaborate on that? What
Yeah,
do you mean? He's heartbroken.
Can you not see it in his face when you speak with him? He clearly has lost some love in his life. I don't know what. Don't know what.
I look at Siegfried with a puzzled look. Storm Surge?
I just shrug. I mean, like, I love. Maybe it's
Oh
possible.
well.
Oh, did you? Maybe he and Tydell were in a romantic relationship?
I wouldn't assume. I don't know.
And then
Mayor
so-
Cadell.
and Matron Toadtooth came through too. She visits every now and then. She's quite.
Was she here like a couple of hours, days ago? Because she wasn't in her hut and we were looking around, so she must be out. Did she come here recently?
She was here recently, 7-8 days ago.
Mm.
Very
Is-
nice to speak with her.
is she still-
lovely getting to speak with her.
Is she still on this site, or did she already go back?
I believe she left already. I haven't seen her
Yeah.
in 6 days, so I assume she left. As long as she didn't like sort of crawl into one of the other buildings that I've constructed and then died, and I haven't found her yet. She's left.
I think she's quite capable of
I
taking
haven't
care of
fed her
herself.
in 6 days. So if she is still here, she may be starving.
Did Captain Storm Surge and Madame Toadtooth see the other open gate?
They
They
have,
must-
yes. I asked them if they could give permission, and they said that it needed to be passed along to you based on the rules that I set, but they weren't sure when they were going to see you, and then they weren't sure if they saw you, if they were going to get back, so I said, all right, well, I'll talk to them when they get back, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's okay.
Well,
So,
Storm
okay.
Surge knows at the very least, so that's a little relieving.
so he gave us the decision to give permission.
I think he recognized the fact that I set the rule that this was the people who opened the gates, and he knows it wasn't the person who opened the gates type of thing.
No, it's just reassuring to know that Storm Surge gave us the permission to.
It was very bracing for me for him to respect the fact that I had set the authority here, and he was respecting that authority.
I mean, Storm Surge follows the letter of the law, so it helps to have good laws, I guess.
He is a far worse conversationalist than Toadtooth, though. He does not have many stories, and most of his stories involve bloodshed.
That's how it is, but
Toadtooth has wonderful stories. Picking.
Well, she's quite older than Storm Surge.
She called them papayas. I've never seen the papayas. But she said she found papayas at one point in her life, and she was telling me about the papayas, and they sound delicious.
Jarl, I take out my map. We found a new biome. We were hunting a yeti, unfortunately, but in their lair we found a tunnel that seemed to go under the mountain. and it brought us out to a entirely new area we've never seen before. It was tropical and hot and humid, and I point out on the map where we went into the tunnel. Do you know about this place?
He looks at the map that you have, which includes the the Cloud Spine Mountains, and that range that travels north to south, and then some sketches on the far side of the mountain that look to be sort of replicated of what is on the eastern side, which is plains and then eventually sand dunes. Just sort of distinguishing the biomes. It's like, oh no, this is all wrong. As he sort of he uses telekinesis to pick up one of your utensils and just sort of point and gesture at this small location on the map. So all of this is jungle here. Many leagues. Haven't been there years. I don't know how long.
So
yeah, it's not. None of that is desert.
Oh.
Very humid, unpleasant. Gets you sticky.
Would you happen to have a more accurate map? I'll
No,
pay you for
I've no need for maps.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I know where you will be able to get a map, though. In hopefully a few months' time. The stall on the end, I have the idea of making it for cartographers. So you can buy maps of the different areas that the henges will lead to once we get more of them going.
That seems very
I also
useful.
need to find someone who will sell maps.
I'm sure they'll come.
If
Everyone
you build
follows.
it, right?
Yes. we can call it the what is it? The map maker of dreams, something like that.
Ooh, I like it. The dreamy map maker.
Well, it's just interesting. We as far as we know, our people didn't know there was a jungle there. We only thought of it as desert.
You've not been to these jungles?
No, we took a foot in it, and it seemed very dangerous. So, and we had just
And the humidity was just too high. We just came from the mountain with mountain gear and snow, and it was just too hot and humid there. We were like sweating like crazy.
I know what you mean. It's the worst. Oh, excuse me. As he sees that you guys have just about finished up this massive, like 2-foot diameter paella, and floats the tray back. Let me get you dessert.
Oh boy, there is more. Oh boy, even I can take more.
I love Cjbeard loves sweets. He's very
out comes a tray of ice. In the middle of this desert, this tray of ice, it's cut in sheets, about like 3 inches wide and like 8 inches long, like these long rectangles, and it's sort of layered a little bit on top of each other, so the bottom is just ice instead of, it's not cubes or anything like that. And then placed upon the ice is slices of fruit, and on one edge of this large tray is a trough, and the trough has what appears to be some type of sweet cream. As he places it, with his telekinetic ability, places it down on the table. Please enjoy. These are fresh and they've been kept cold since they've arrived.
These are from the traders as well?
Yes, these are from the Stormstring Isles. I believe that one is called mango. That is a banana. Quite good.
Banana?
Interesting texture. And he goes through a variety of fruits, mostly melons and types of melons. But if you partake, it is delicious. Let's say you were saying, though. I did not mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to get you.
No, I was just asking. The last time you were in that jungly area, was there anything of note? I know it must have been a long time.
I mean, there was things being overgrown. I was looking for a nice place like this to make home, that I might find people, and I didn't find anyone here, but the ruins weren't going to be overgrown by the jungle after a few decades. And I did find some ruins in the jungle, but one was inhabited, didn't want to mess with that. They seemed comfortable together, and that was it. So I was like, I'll find my own. I found my own, and it was just being overtaken. I didn't want the constant fight of dealing with vines and trees growing in the middle of where I was living and whatnot. So I moved on from there. But that was, I don't know, 150 years ago, maybe.
The place with inhabitants, the inhabitants were like us, or were they a different type
They
of
were
creature?
taller than you. Walked on two legs. It wasn't like
Taller than
it
even the
wasn't
Siegfried?
It wasn't like a big animals, but I didn't talk to them.
But they're generally humanoid looking, at least.
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
most people who are humanoid, the first time they see me, they go, ah, and they run away, or they try to shoot me, and then I have to kill them.
I mean, we probably would have done that if we hadn't gone through the Fungeon first, so that might have been a good
Fungeon
idea.
is a good idea. I'll make new Fungeon.
I would like to try that out again. It was quite funny.
I mean, if you make a kid-friendly one, I'm sure the money would come in.
Kid-friendly Fungeon.
I mean, parents always need a break from their kids just to run wild a
Sort of
little bit.
purses his lips.
Just to give you a definition of kid-friendly, nothing gets hurt or killed.
That's no fun.
And only having fun. Well,
Yeah.
for the kids, it is, yes.
What if the kids want to hurt themselves or hurt each other?
Generally, you want to break it up, but I mean, most of the time they can figure it out themselves. But you're preparing them for the future.
Exactly, but they'd have to fight to the death. Yeah.
No fights to the.
No fight to the death.
I mean, maybe unless you're from Willem's family, but I don't like to ask questions about Willem's family.
No fine. I would think on it. But yeah, so the individual who came through, he was very courteous. Got me lots of things. But do you? If you'd like, I can say that he only has permission to use your henge if you have permission to use his, and then the next time I see you, I can let you know as such as well. So that way, it's sort of a trade. Like you get it and he gets, you know.
It's the question. We don't know their intentions, so we just can't give them permission. Then they just go into our home and raid it and maraud the farms. That's, you never know the true intentions of somebody.
I wouldn't want my little slice of the desert to be used for that either. This oasis should not be for conquest.
I mean,
Tell you what, Yaril.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, as long as you can guarantee that they're not going to.
You will be the gatekeeper of this doors or tradeways, then, correct?
That is my intention. Yeah.
So,
presumably, if we get more than activated, it'd be great.
So if they do something we do not like, you can always revoke their permission to use the gate or the henge, right?
So permission is granted on the condition that they are peaceable about it.
Correct.
Yes,
I think they would acquiesce to the same idea.
And we also offer the same. We will not be bringing war.
You're not
where
brigands. Yeah.
Perfect.
not-
I will remember and pass it along. I suspect they will agree, but I want them to agree before I allow you to go through. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Now-
one more thing, Yarl. There's one condition that
Yes.
needs to be held above,
Yes.
and I show him, if anyone comes through with green glowing stone, they're not to be allowed through the gate to Elderthorn.
No
Absolutely not.
green glowing stone to other. Got it.
You show him the insignia we
Yeah,
Pick
I
out.
show them, and I say anyone holding this symbol
or
should not
bearing
be-
this mark. Yeah.
should not be allowed through the gate.
That is an old mark. Haven't seen that in a long time. Why is anyone
you've-
holding that mark?
You've seen it before.
That is the symbol of oblivion.
Can you
Oblivion?
tell us more?
Symbol of oblivion. Space like ours. You know when you're in a town, and you are in the street, right? Okay. Now imagine, and you go into a building. So you're in the first building. So you stay at the caravanserai. Now imagine you walk out of that building, and instead of entering the street, you just very briefly pass through the barrier that is the street into another building, and that is the inn. And you pass in from that in through this very small thin barrier, from the inn to the merchant goods store. All of these are the areas. The Oblivion is one of them. No one goes to Oblivion, or at least no one comes back.
I can't follow. It's too
So like you
high
are
for
here
me.
in.
So you're saying
Here?
it's a space between spaces.
No. It is another space. Like when you die, you go from here to somewhere else. That is one space. You have here
Yeah.
as a space. Oblivion is another space, but no one goes to Oblivion.
Why would someone worship that then?
I don't
Do you
know.
get power? Do you get power from Oblivion?
I've heard of people stealing power from Oblivion, but I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, the more you
Have
look
you ever-
into Oblivion, the more Oblivion would look into you, right? I mean,
That makes sense.
So how
Well-
would somebody get to Oblivion?
why would you want to
Because
go to
obviously,
Oblivion? You don't want to
Well,
go to
somebody-
Oblivion. You don't come back from Oblivion. It's in the name. It doesn't sound great.
but
We're,
it's just weird.
yeah, just Yerel. We're mostly asking because people wielding this symbol have caused great harm to Elderthorn.
That's not
They've
good.
been
Well-
poisoning our drinking water.
Oh my!
And summoning some weird crab creature.
It took
what
me
was their
7
name?
hours to find water down below. It was hard. I understand the water thing.
Yes, and if,
No,
if
it
they're
was
allowed to,
aspect of what was it called? Help me out. Aspect of Evoklest?
Don't
You ever
know.
heard that, no one?
Never
Hmm.
heard of it. Yeah, the whole power from the Oblivion thing, that seems like a bad proposition. Because I mean, Oblivion.
It is
supposed to
worrying
be
for us.
A big thing, and you like in. I mean, the idea is not everyone is inconsequential to Oblivion, right? So if you're an ant and you steal like grains of rice from a picnic, you might go unnoticed for a little while. But if you start getting greedy and taking rice from someone's bowl, well, maybe now they see the ant, and they try. And the more you take, the more annoying you would get, right? And then Oblivion, just you're an ant, you know. You're not winning the fight.
so the
you
way you're
fish.
describing it, Oblivion is not just a place; it's also alive and conscious with its own.
No
Will.
good has ever come of people trying to grasp
Instead of
Oblivion, begun it, draw power from it. The people who have usually met grisly ends.
How long haven't you seen that symbol?
Oh
Um,
my!
Roughly.
That would be better part of a millennia, maybe 600 years or so. It's been a long time.
Were you in Droucia when you first saw it?
No, Droucia wasn't a thing back then. Yeah, Droucia's been a thing for the better part of 300 years or so, give or take.
So it's ancient.
Well, I mean, the city states. they've been around for about 300 years. I think Droucia itself was established a little bit, almost nearly a century ago now. Like I said, big named thing to keep the fighting from Elderthorn and Armskirk and Fellhold and all them from sort of bashing heads with each other over and over again.
Do you remember where you were when you first learned about Oblivion?
It was before I went into the jungle. No, so there's a lot of things in my head. It's sometimes hard to pull up memories on the fly like that. I might have it written down somewhere. I can check, but
We'd appreciate it, but I understand someone with so many memories as yours. I imagine it's hard to keep them straight.
things
sometimes.
sort of get fuzzy after a few hundred years. Yeah, anyone wearing that symbol's bad business in the first place. Anyway, I wouldn't want them in my air crypt.
They're doing something to our town, and we don't like it. And
So nobody wearing that going through the hinges.
yes, and at the very least, one of their members knew about the Bode Stones. I don't know if they knew about the gates, but they knew about the stones.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, the individual that was coming through, I could tell you, wasn't wearing anything like that. He was barely wearing like a shirt. Very breezy, like billowy type of shirt. You could see his neck and everything.
Yeah.
Looked like he should have been on a nice painting or something.
Well, I think as
Yeah.
long as you're willing to be gatekeeper and
Yeah,
they
under
agree
that
to be so,
conditions, yeah,
I'd be happy.
we
to.
can agree.
Good. Now what brings you by? Was it just to visit me? Did you have business?
well, we just wanted to talk to you. You have the greatest memory of anyone we know, so we already found out a lot of information from you. So thank you. But
And I also, yeah, we also brought you something, and I'll take out the hammerhead. I recently purchased this, and I tried one of my trusted armor smiths to attach a handle to it, but every wood he tried splintered, and we couldn't figure out what's going on. So maybe you could take a look at it and tell me what's so special about it.
Sort of floats out of your hand. Not sure. I mean, the way that I'd be able to sort of give it a checkout might destroy it also, so I don't want to destroy your fancy little metal rock thing. I mean, I can try, but you can't blame me if it gets destroyed. Your choice. What do you want? You want me to
Daniel
try?
scratches his head. What would you be attempting to try? Just
I could try
magically deduce what it is?
Well, so I can't really figure out what magic things are enough to sold to me. But I can figure out if something is small enchantment or big enchantment. But if it's small enchantment, it turns to dust.
Oh.
And then it's not really good anymore. If it's big enchantment, it survives. Technically.
Dunnan, you might as well do it because if it's not a big enchantment, you're really not losing anything.
Yeah, that's true. It's not worth anything then. No.
Not with anything.
Well, Moradin's balls. Go ahead. Try figuring it out. If it's a big enchantment or not.
Go outside, please. He floats out towards the door with the little hammerhead.
Siegfried
following
grabs more food before you step outside.
him. As you're sitting there eating a piece of melon, you see him sort of float it up in the sky above, and then one of the tendrils sort of turn and look at it for a moment, and you see a green beam of energy shriek towards the hammerhead, and impact it. A moment later, the beam stops. And the hammerhead floats back down. It's not dust, so it's a good enchantment, Probably pretty
Mm.
powerful. Not sure what it is, but very strong at the very least.
Great. Well, at least it's not a piece of crap. Still don't know what and how to use it.
I'd say
Well.
done, and the individual that's been speaking with the Earl seems to be very well versed in magic items. Perhaps they might know.
Probably they might, yeah.
I mean, we talked to Elpip and he didn't know, so I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, true. Well, it's worth the try. Worth a try.
Cjbeards, I know that name. Wait, is he
He wrote-
this? Is his name Snowbeetle? Snowbeetle. I saw his name on the manifest.
Yes.
He's the one who made the knives.
Oh, yes, yes.
I mean,
He
he didn't make them for me. I think they were bought. They got the guy that I got them from him originally. They were in the manifest box.
That's interesting then. Then our mystery man has run into Kelpip or his wares at some point. I think he would be interested to know that, but yeah, Kelpip is a very fine craftsman.
Yeah, they work great.
Yeah, if trade picks up from Elderthorn, he's one of the merchants you may be in contact with.
It'd be great. I'd love to meet him. Tell him to stop by.
I will. I think he'd definitely be interested. He's been helping us safeguard the waters of Elderthorn recently, so he's been quite busy.
Nah, understood. Anything else I can? I have plenty of space in the caravanserai. We have little private areas for you to sleep and rest. Lots of cushions. Very comfortable. In the morning we have sweet mint tea to help brace you for the day. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I think we're going to spend the night, and then I assume now that permission's been given, we're okay to go through the gate.
No, you can't go through.
No, it's the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We can tell them if these people can go.
Okay.
We can tell them if they can come to us, but we can't.
I need to speak with them first to
Oh,
confirm the deal.
First, okay.
They have to agree to the same conditions as we just said.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll wait for the response, and then I'll reveal a stone. We found another stone.
You have another one. That's amazing. Well, if you place it, I will consider the group of you to be the ones permission for this also.
I think we will, but we're just a little worried
No
about
deal on the new one until you determine
where it goes.
Yes.
That's yeah. So I turn to the group, Dunnan, and
You need to put signs on these hinges.
yeah, I say we can potentially go through another gate, but there wouldn't be a guaranteed way back.
Well, we strive for the adventure, don't we?
Sounds
We
like
do.
an adventure. Would you like to take some food with? I should come up with a name for the knives. I will think on this.
Yeah.
Helly's gonna go. Where do we leave the horses?
I think the horses are still with Madame Toadtooth's side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. The horses don't like going through the gate.
No, I wouldn't think
Yeah.
so.
No.
Okay, so Helly is going to reach into her bag that she brought with her and bring out the Doom box of spiders, the gift that she got for Yerl. And, hey, Yerl, when I saw this, I thought of you. I thought it might be good for the Fungin.
What is it? What's it do?
It brings spiders.
I love it. I want it. You said it's for me? I accept.
It's for you. It's a gift for all you've
Thank
done.
you so much. You see the button just gets pushed by the telekinetic ability. Open.
So,
This is spider. I love it. It's great.
So I
The
think the
spider
plan
falls to the
is.
ground and scurries away. He pushes
So I
it
think the
again.
plan is
The spider.
rest for the night, eat breakfast, and then try out a new gate?
Correct. I think that is the way to go.
Wonderful. Well, please enjoy. There's a little bit more fruit. I need to go check on the ice hatches as well, though.
Cjbeards is just eating a mango like an apple right now.
I mean, who wouldn't?
You will enjoy. I have some business. I'm going to make some signs too. I'll put like a no permission sign on the whichever one you pick next.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you for working with all this politics. I wish we could just openly travel, but there are dangerous people up there.
It's fun. No worry. I like it. I want more people to come. They could stay. If people want to move here, they're more than welcome to. I have lots of space. And then I have people to talk to.
I mean, you might get some snowbirds when the winter comes.
What's a snowbird?
People who only stay in areas where it's warm and tropical. So
they won't like. I mean, it gets chilly overnight.
But it doesn't snow here,
they'll
right?
love that.
It's true. I've not seen snow here. No. I wonder if I can make snow. That'd be fun.
I wouldn't put it past you, Yarrow.
I mean, ice is easy. Snow, maybe. Oh, but alright.
One more question, Yarrow.
Yes.
Where we come from, there's sort of spirits. We refer them as kami. They sort of represent
kami,
the different aspects of nature. Are there any around here? Have you contacted them before?
I don't know about how to contact the kami, but they're present everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, they're in
You
the
haven't-
trees, the rocks, the wind, the water.
You haven't had any trouble with them in the past, or?
No.
Okay. Well, just thought I'd ask. Thank you, Yarrow.
Oh, good. He gives you a big toothy grin. I'm going to go make signs. And he sort of floats off.
It was very insightful.
Yeah.
So, Oblivion, huh?
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it does not sound
No.
good.
Nope. From what he told us, no.
But
Can't
I mean,
be good.
if you gain power from it, there's always going to be someone reaching for it. It's just how it goes.
Land power always comes with a price. So,
Well, Yarrow made it seem like that Oblivion may have not known that these people are getting power from it, but it seems sure as heck now that Oblivion is looking back, I guess. I mean, it feels that way. Well, I'm at the very least done, and that hammer seems amazing.
yeah, but it's useless without a handle. I mean, I can throw it, but that's all I can do.
So, what was the
I-
problem with the handle? The handle just kept breaking, or it just didn't work?
The wood splintered. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, like it's, I don't know, refusing the handles. I don't know how to exactly explain it. Just did they try different wood types, like oak and birch, and it all splintered.
Perhaps we just need to find a better material.
Probably, yes.
Or maybe it only has its own handle and we have to find his handle.
Is that true?
Could be, yeah. Well, I have the Pesher for now, so I'll keep it around. Maybe we'll come across a handle on our travels. So, which hinge are we choosing for tomorrow? We have got quite the choice.
I was just gonna pick the first one to the left from Elderthorn one, but if anyone had any other ideas.
Right. No. I think anyone is good.
Well, my thought is maybe we should wait to get permission from the other one because, well, they do have both ways to get in and out. Never mind.
Yeah. And I feel like as long as they respect the Earl's authority, they seem to want to trade. So,
Yeah.
and if Storm Surge knows about it, then they can assume what we did. So,
Yeah.
I think we should be okay. I wouldn't mess with the Earl, so hopefully these merchants won't either.
Alright. Well, it is travel to Matron Totos. Yeah, it's evening. You rest to recuperate. And that brings us to the 21st day of Kythorn and the beginning of summer. Last 10 day of Kythorn. As you wake the next morning, fully refreshed, your exhaustion gone, ready to place a bode milestone. You said first to the left of the.
I leave the decision up to you, Siegfried.
Yeah. Siegfried will just. Oh, what'd you say, Helly?
I was just going to say I agree. We should go clockwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me grab a little freehand thing. So they're set up in this sort of pattern. This one is the Elderthorn one, the X, and this one has been the other one that's activated. That apparently goes to the Stormstring Isles. So you're activating this one.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. Wonderful.
And we find ourselves in oblivion.
Oh, this one goes to oblivion. Nope.
Oops.
You die, campaign over.
It says right here on the sign, oblivion. You didn't see it?
There are the signs for the 2 henges that have been activated so far, that Jarl has made over the course of the day, in the same sort of flowing script that the Moon Sands Caravanserais sign is painted in. And he sort of just affixed them on the ground, not onto the henge, but like right in front of it. Such to label them appropriately. You select the one that you have, and with your compatriots, place the Bodmal stone within the alcove at the top of it. There's the instant sort of searing and flash of light as it sort of locks itself into place magically, and like the starting of a waterfall, just a curtain of this undulating, flowing energy descends from the apex of the henge and fills the vacant arch with this semi-opaque, looks like it's just a tunnel into fog in front of you. And you recognize the familiar activation of this henge for the very first time.
Is the color different at the hinges? Like, are they all blue? The gates, I mean, that are not that they're opened.
No, all of the color of the veils are
Veils.
They shift. It's not a single color. They shift.
Okay.
Slightly, like they're throughout the different range of very pastel-ish colors. Pardon me, but it's not a very clear delineation. It's like multicolored wafts of fog that's just obfuscate. It's very strange to look at because it looks like when you're looking into the henge that it's this foggy tunnel that just extends about 15 feet through the henge, but then like if you take one step to
Mhm.
the side, you can see that there's no tunnel behind the henge, and you know that's sort of that
Mhm.
connection between the two places.
All right, everyone ready?
Yep.
Sure.
Well, hopefully find a stone on the other side. Otherwise, this is a one-way trip. And
Mhm.
Siegfried steps through.
One by one,
Yeah.
you feel the
We can handle everything.
one by one, you feel the cool, the cool sensation of the magic of the henge overtake your forms. The shiver runs down your spines as it envelops and sort of clings to you, almost reaching out as you get close to sort of inculcate you into the bubble of its own energy. As you look back and the light of Urkrit fades behind you, and you start to walk. The few steps that you take forward suddenly feel like they're going downhill as you tumble forwards. All of you add a level of exhaustion once again. As you step out of the henge, you're almost like sort of trying to catch yourself, like you're walking down a hill too quickly, and you stumble into two individuals on the far side, knocking yourselves and them down. Those of you who went through the henge second sort of trip over the bodies that are now sprawling on the ground at the far side. And it takes a long moment for you to actually gather your bearings as you sort of extricate yourself from this impromptu puddle of people. The bright desert light has been replaced by a vibrant emerald hue that persists throughout the space. The smell of damp earth and rain invades your nostrils, and sounds of buzzing insects fill the air with a tremendous symphony that seems cacophonous from the relative silence that Urkrit commands. Everything around you is lush and green, or tinged with woody and earthy colors that you would expect of growing things. You've taken a few steps into a lush and primeval jungle. The first few steps have also been nearly on top of what you now see are two furbolgs, each just shy of 7 feet in height.
I immediately
male,
go into a defensive position.
The male looks over you with his bright green eyes, reminiscent of the lush canopy around you. While the female's attention is more focused on recollecting the plants that she had dropped in surprise at your sudden appearance and knocking her over. He's burly and strong, where she's supple and lithe. Both have well-defined muscles, though, and very little body fat.
Yeah.
Their clothes, respectively, leave a lot to be desired and little which needs to be imagined. Both of them are barefoot, wearing little more than loincloths and garments made from some unknown fabric that seems threadbare. The hair upon each of them is tied back tightly, and some of it has been sort of made into locks to keep it away from their faces as they work. The male reaches down and slowly picks up a gnarled and heavy-looking quarterstaff before asking in the Orcish tongue, "Who are you?"
I just nudge Helly forward.
We are travelers. Where are we?
You travelers. How did you get here? You were not here, and then you were here.
I'm going to translate to Siegfried and Dunnan what he just said.
I just tell them that this archway here is a gate. We activated it on our side and came through.
As you gesture up and look around, you see the henge that you've currently stepped out of is set onto a very small hill, and has twisted vines and plants growing all around it. Even in between where the veil would extend if it were present, There's large bushes that you realize might have been the things that had tripped you up on your stepping through. It is overgrown.
And I just tell Helly to translate as well. Like, we don't mean any harm. We didn't know there would be people on the other side. We didn't mean to disrupt your gathering. I apologize.
You translate all of this, Helarast?
Yes, I translate all of that.
Alright, so you see his eyes sort of move from Siegfried to you, Helarast. Back to Siegfried. This individual speaks for you, but does not speak the mother tongue. Why you allow him to speak for you?
He gives me great advice. He gives me another opinion, because where I come from, he and I are equal. And then I think
The
Aeolus...
female Furbolg sort of smiles. Ah, he is your mate, I understand.
I will just go ahead and accept that. But Aeolus is with us,
Yes.
even though he's not talking. So he would also, I think he would also answer in some sort of Orcish.
And
Yeah.
we've heard of like Furbolgs aren't like a mystery to us, right?
No, they're just not common. You've never seen one. You've heard of them, but you've not seen one.
But from what Siegfried's heard of, they usually speak giant, right? Or is that
I'm
not
quite
something?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You have no. I mean, reason would dictate that they would speak the same common tongue as everyone else.
Okay. I was just asking if Siegfried knew they were descended from giants or not, like him, but
No.
I don't think he knows that much about
You would not.
Furbolgs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just wait and see what Ellie says.
Okay. What am I supposed to report back? I'm sorry, that took a long time.
Why have you went through activate the stone arch? The stone arch is, it's not a door, it's an arch. There's no door. You could...
I know, it's confusing. We have to find the key to the door while we are here. There's another key on this side. And then we are hoping we can facilitate communication between our side and your side. And we are also trying to solve the mystery of someone who is poisoning our wells.
They sort of seem lost in thought for a moment, and the female answers you. What is it that you call yourselves? What are your names?
I am Helarast. The large one here is Siegfried. The short one here is Dunnan. The old one is Aeolus. And the pipsqueak is... I know, but he's got a little bit of gray hair. So, yeah, the older one is Aeolus, or the grumpy one. The grouchy one is Aeolus, and the pipsqueak is Willem.
I am Kira, and this is Omeron. Here are the handouts.
I've used the artwork for Umaran before.
Yeah.
I recognize that one, yeah.
No relation to Candlekeep.
So, are they friendly, Haley, or?
They're cautious, but not attacking yet.
All right.
So,
Ask him where we are.
Dunnan, what's your passive perception? You have the highest in the group.
Oh boy. I think like 15 or 16.
Okay.
My one's 17.
17? Okay.
16.
So, Siegfried and Dunnan. 16's the check. The two of you see...
Kelly has 0.
So the two of you see, stalking between the trees, a big form. Looks to be some massive cat-like creature, much larger than a regular cat. That's just sort of stalking between the trees, like sort of paying attention to the group of you.
Helly, can you ask your host if we should be worried about that giant cat out there?
Yeah, is that
It out to her.
creature belong to you?
Umaran
Does that
speaks.
creature belong to you?
Not attack you unless I tell her to. You're fine for now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's him in the background. Wow.
Yeah, right.
And then I guess through Helly I asked, so what now?
It'll translate whatever you're saying.
Yeah, I'll just say, so how should we proceed? Are we to be escorted by you or taken captive, or?
You see the two of them sort of look at each other for a moment and whisper back and forth for a few seconds. You will not be captives for now. You said you want to trade. What?
Not us specifically, but the place this gate leads to is a intersection of gates. The mayor who runs that intersection would like more people to be a part of it.
Don't know what a mayor is.
He's a tribal leader. He's the leader of the town that is the intersection.
Oh, okay. The female, Kira, sort of sniffs the air. You all stink. Bad.
Siegfried smells. I mean, I guess we've been traveling for quite a bit.
At the very least, you can bathe. Here, caddy. She sort of holds out this sort of gathering basket to you, Siegfried.
Yeah. I carry it.
About a good 5 pounds of different plants on there, and it's quite large. She stands a few inches taller than even you. Follow us.
Just for my information, the whale behind us is not open now, right?
No, we need a stone to reopen it.
Okay. Yes. So, whatever are we doing?
We're following them so we can take a bath.
That sounds easy enough.
About an hour passes as you follow them through twisting and turning paths in the jungle, some nary more than 2 feet in width. It's impressive how these two individuals move through the space in ways that are difficult for some of you who are more narrow than they are. Presently, as you push through the dense undergrowth of the jungle, you stumble upon a sight both feeling mystical and mysterious. A partially concealed ruined temple, half hidden by encroaching foliage in this small clearing. The temple's ancient stone walls are adorned with moss and vines. They stand weathered and worn, revealing passage of countless ages. The entrance is framed by intricately carved arches depicting creatures of the jungle and other entities that you suspect might be illustrations of kami. As you approach, you notice the faded hieroglyphics etched into the stone surface. The meaning is too difficult to discern, maybe some cryptic puzzle, and you feel beckoned to lose yourself in the search. As you enter, the interior of the temple reveals a captivating scene. A harmonious blend of nature and the remnants of some past civilization that erected this structure. The main chamber is overgrown with sprawling roots and tangled foliage, seamlessly merging the jungle with the sacred space. Sunlight filters through a cracks in the canopy and casts ethereal patterns upon the stone floor that illuminate the intricate artwork adorning the walls. Tucked away in an alcove, you spot a cozy living space crafted by presumably the furbolgs that call this place home. The room boasts a large and hand-carved bed from sturdy jungle timbers, adorned with woven vines and innumerable soft pelts. Nearby, there's a series of simple yet functional furniture, also fashioned from the materials of the land around you, you suspect. Stands neatly arranged, a table, 2 small stools, and shelves for storing their belongings. In another alcove, you can see, slowly bubbling, a small pool of crystal clear water. The Furbolg's resourcefulness is evident in the cleverly designed food storage area. Hanging from the top of their alcove, crafted from woven vines and barks, you see wooden jars that have unknown contents and baskets full of nuts that are hung. Roots and tubers are draped upon any spot that they can to dry. As you take in this temple's ambience, you feel a profound sense of connection to nature, a bond that these furbolgs have nurtured with their environment. There's a peaceful harmony that emanates from the temple that serves as a testament to their reverence for the jungle and the kami. As you enter this space and take all of this in, Kira sort of gestures at the pool. Bathe. You all reek. And scare away. Game.
Siegfried doesn't hesitate. He strips and he starts bathing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Silly.
The water is cool and refreshing. There is an upcurrent from somewhere down below. You suspect this is some part of a natural spring that must then dissipate somewhere underneath the rocks around the area. So the pool does not overflow.
Or get contaminated by our stink.
Also fair. You also bathed then?
I'll strip down, but it takes a while for me to don off my armor.
Yes, that's true.
One by one.
But yes, that will happen and Ellie will no longer stink.
You're treated to a fairly uncomfortable bath. Well, the water is pleasant and feels good to remove some of the grime of your travel. Not too much that's been accumulated since you last visited the establishment where it was all purged from you. But that's not quite the same as getting wet and washed. The 2 furbolgs have sort of seated themselves in their area and are just watching the group of you bathe, waiting for you to finish.
We are bathing. Why don't they keep watching?
Can
It's
I do
weird.
an insight check on them?
Sure. Make an insight check with disadvantage because you don't speak their language.
Yep, I don't speak. Also, we're exhausted, so
Also that, yeah. Lots of disadvantage. Extra disadvantage.
Yeah.
They're
Double,
hard to
triple.
read. they haven't been openly hostile towards you, other than like what you can get sort of body language wise as cautiousness at your sudden and unexpected arrival, in a space that there should have been no unexpected arrivals. Something about them seems familiar, and something about them seems alien to you. It's just tough to put a finger on.
Siegfried he continues to bathe.
Yeah. Siegfried and Dunnan. As you're finishing up your bath, you see prowling from around one of the alcoves, the large jungle cat. Looks to be a panther. Semi-corporeal. You can see through it, but everything through it is fuzzy. This seems like it might have been the thing that you saw between the trees previously. Just sort of stalks past the bath, looks at you, flicks its tail in annoyance, and then stalks over towards the furbolgs. Umuran gives it a few scratches, and then you see its form dissipate.
So she's like you, Helly.
Umuran's the man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'll just say he's like you, Helly. I think that cat was like Corin, right?
I think so. I should pull Corin and see what she says. So, Corin will start crawling out from between my boobs.
At the appearance of Corin, who's not quite as large as the cat,
No.
The two furbolgs sort of glance and then whisper to each other, and then turn back, and they have softer expressions on their face, but they don't make any mention to you. About 5 minutes later, the group of you have finished bathing and have been able to, at the very least, put on your base layers. Not quite don all of your armor as of yet, but enough that you're comfortable and no longer exposed to the almost unblinking gaze of these two furbolgs that have watched the entire show you've put on at this point. You, as you approach Umuran, you conjure the kami yourself. It is nice to see that the art has not been lost. Although she is small.
She's very fierce. And quite powerful.
It is good. Forgive us for our caution. It is unlikely that we get visitors that are skilled with the tongue.
No offense taken. We would do the same thing if you came onto our side. You're only trying to protect your people.
Well, our people is us.
Just the two of you?
There are no others.
Hmm.
Well, other than our companions that keep us company. But it is just us, since... Trails off. What brings you all here? You said for trade, but you needed to find a key?
Well,
Yes.
mostly we
to
just
be-
came to see what was here.
We are also looking for answers to why our wells are being poisoned. Not that you would know, but we just are seeing if we can find anything that would give us a clue as to why.
I do not know how to assist you with that. You are more than welcome to look around our made home.
Thank you.
Clues, if you would like, but you know not of any poisoning of wells. The female sniffs the air again. You still stink.
Being rude.
Is it something we carry?
It might be.
Purses her lips and sort of scowls. And she speaks with Umaran for a moment.
What are they talking about? Still stinking? I've never been this clean.
Pay her
I even-
no mind. At the moment. She continues though. Yes, please look around. Don't smell up our bedroom.
Okay. As long as we have your permission, we'll be nearby.
They both sort of nod and they watch as you walk, look around the area.
I kind of get mixed signals from them. I don't know if we are welcome here or not.
I mean, if they've been living by themselves all this time.
I think welcome is a strange word for them, but they accept that we are here.
Maybe we should ask them if they need some help with something. I mean, we are good at
Mhm.
dealing with problems, and maybe that will gain their trust.
See if we can return the hospitality.
Correct.
So yeah,
And I look around. Is that creature still watching us?
The panther? No, it's gone.
Yeah. No, it's returned back. Okay.
yeah. Before I left their presence, I would just ask them, is there anything we could aid you with? I know that's a presumptuous question, but I'm a healer if you need that.
They look confused at the question.
Like
Why would they give me an insight check?
So, what did you just ask? My Discord
sure.
just cut out for a second.
I just asked if they needed help with anything.
Okay.
They look
Maybe-
confused at the offer, in the first
Okay.
place. Because Aeolus translates it, so they look at Aeolus confused as like why that offer is being made in the first place.
I just tell them to say it's the offer we make to most people we meet.
You get waved off.
Okay. I'll just go to look around the temple then.
I want all three of you to roll me investigation or perception checks, your choice, as you're sort of looking around the temple.
I'm going to
You all have disadvantage. You all used a
Yeah.
hedge.
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to enhance ability myself
Go. So you have a straight roll.
for perception, and then I'm also going to go into dragon form.
Okay. Base 10.
Yep. And I'm gonna do perception.
I rolled a 21.
I'm also going to pop a detect magic as I'm walking around, in case that matters.
Okay.
And here's the perception.
You can't.
So
You're
it's a
having
17.
enhanced abilities are also
Oh, yeah.
concentration.
Sorry. Yep. No detect magic. I'll leave the
Okay.
enhanced ability.
Alright, so 17. 17, 21, and 5. Hello guys, there are some stunningly beautiful carvings, but your mind is more preoccupied with that panther. Like you're looking at things, but you're not really seeing them as you go.
Okay.
Dunnan, as you are exploring the space, you find a series of paintings and carvings on one of the interior walls that has some light shining on nearby to the point that it can be made out relatively easily. And it has pictures of small amorphous creatures that are just watching, sort of standing on roots and rocks and tree branches, popping their heads out of different plants and stems that are carrying twigs and berries and branches here and there, like little humanoid ants, featureless, no, not even eyes carved onto their forms, that just are in a procession leading around the space. You get the feeling that these are depictions of the kami of this jungle that are present, and you've not seen people depict these things previously. The activities are seen, but the things causing said activities have never been depicted. But you see them sort of shifting things and planting little saplings and doing all manner of different things as you go, and following along this long wall. Siegfried, you started at the other end, and you found, half covered in moss, you had to sort of scrape away a little bit, the carving of a dome, sort of an arch. And as you work back, you find a section of wall where these little gray, like dark gray, maybe dark blue things, these carvings of these amorphous people that Dunnan started at the other end of the wall and just sort of started on, pick up about halfway through, where they're sort of climbing this arch and prying something from it. The next sort of section has the arch no longer drawn with such detail, and trees being planted in and around it. And then larger and larger until the final sort of pane of this series of illustrations and hieroglyphics is nothing but jungle. And at the base of the jungle is a series of these little humanoids, none taller than a fern, just standing with their little arms linked together at the base of this jungle. You're startled by Umuran. That was, in the common tongue, that was the beginning of the fall. According to our mother and father, it is when the end began.
I point to one of the tall bluish figures, bluish guy. Who are they?
They're not tall, they're small.
Oh, small. Are they the kami?
That is, yes. Come, the essence of, sort of gestures around. Essence.
Everything.
Yes.
So they were the ones who took the stone from the archway?
He steps a few panels back and sort of taps. They take. He makes a motion with his hand, like a grabbing motion. Hide.
Did they not like
Protect.
the gate being open?
He comes back to the one that you're standing at the end, and sort of scrapes at the bottom of the jungle and this line of them holding their arms and linking together. Sort of scrapes some moss and pulls a vine out of the way, and you can see the bottom underneath that sort of line of them has been sort of stained dark by all of the dirt and the silt that the vine had sort of crept through and pushed along with it. And there's sort of jagged marks sort of carved into the space, occupying, like cross-hatching throughout the whole bottom of that panel underneath the line of what you've dubbed as the kami. The take, protect.
Is there a way you can help us speak to the kami? Perhaps petition our case?
Switches to Orcish. Helares, you hear this get called out throughout the temple. They wish to make a trial to prove. I think. Can you check with that one? The female, Kira, comes up to you, Helares, starts speaking. I think your companion is asking to prove his worthiness, I believe. What is he saying?
Okay. Sorry, my husband was talking to me. What was that again? I'm lost.
Your companion is wishing to prove his worthiness, I believe. Yes.
Sure. Yes. Can we speak to the kami? Is there any way we can speak to them?
You don't speak to them. There's no answer.
Siegfried, do you sometimes get answers from the kami?
The answers, but they make themselves known.
Okay.
But they're the ones, I believe, who are protecting the stone right now. I don't want to antagonize them.
No, not at all.
If they need us to prove ourselves, that's what we must do, I think.
Is Aeolus translating everything that you're saying, Siegfried?
Yeah.
Okay. Partway through, Umaran stops Aeolus. No, not protect, through Aeolus. They don't protect the thing they take. They protect. He gestures around the room again. They protect everything from what they take.
So they believe the stone is a danger. Well, either way, I would like an audience with them. If I have to prove myself, then I accept.
As Aeolus translates, Umaran just sort of rubs his temple. There is no them audience there is no one who speaks for others. The world does not work in these ways. The
apologies. I don't have much knowledge about the kami besides what my mother told me, and she just told me to treat them with respect.
You seek. He's trying the common tongue again. He's not very good at it, you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of taps the stone again. This was key?
Yes, we used one on the other side. But we need one more to go home.
Switches back to Orcish. So you seek the key to put in Arch.
Not just to put in the arch, but also to find answers about the nature of the key itself. If we can.
What if the key is dangerous? The usage of the key.
I know for sure that it is dangerous. I already know it is dangerous. We already know it's dangerous.
However, the way the stone is used, it will not leave your side of the arch. It will still be here. We are not taking it away.
And part of the reason we seek this, even though it's dangerous, it's connected to the poisonings going on in our town, and if we don't find the answers, I'm afraid there's nothing we'll be able to do to prevent its destruction. My family lives there, my friends live there. If I have to face danger to help them, then that's what I'll do.
He stays in Orcish tongue. Common is clearly difficult, and he's worried he's misunderstanding or misspeaking. The key. Do not know where it is. If you wish to have it returned, you would need to earn not our trust, but he touches the wall. Theirs.
How would we do that? Where we come from to earn the kami's trust is to leave them alone.
He sort of gestures at all of the space. Show that you can coexist.
Okay.
Here, let us eat, and we will have answers. Kira nods and goes and fetches a bowl. It has a number of different ingredients in it. It looks like some broken down root vegetables, a few sort of mushroom caps, some like long grasses that have sort of been torn and twisted to get some juice to release. Here, and she hands a bowl to each of you.
Thank you. I ask in Orcish and in Common, do you enjoy ale at all?
Do you, in Orcish through Aeolus?
Yeah.
What is ale?
It's a drink we produce where we come from. It has alcohol in it, but it also tastes pretty nice. We have some if you'd like to try.
Okay.
Understood.
They fill up some what looks like gourds from the the bathwater, and they have that. You all sit down, have a at this point in the day lunch, of mushroom caps, tubers, root vegetables, some grasses. It's a bit chewy and kind of bland. Especially after being used to Willem's delightful cooking. I'm sure he has choice words about the flavors and whatnot. As you finish eating, Umaran is smiling. Right, now we have answers. One by one, the group of your heads swim, and your vision blurs before it fades to black. We'll pick up there next session as the group of you all pass out.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's
I'm
great.
glad